Yes, I know.
Mm-hmm.
Good evening. I'm William Seppings, and this is Civil War Television. I am interviewing Miss Clara Barton,
Hello.
founder of the Red Cross. Miss Barton, what was your early life like?
Well, William, it was very difficult because I was very, very shy. And when I went to school, I was only 3 years old, but I followed my brother and I became very good at reading and math at a very young age. As I grew older, I was still very painfully shy, but my parents sent me to high school and I was miserable there. It was very hard on me. At one point, my father moved us to live with my cousins because their father sadly had passed away. At that point, I realized that I needed to do something to help my family. It's very important to help people, you see. And what I did was the house we were moving into needed painting, so I insisted upon helping the painter prepare my house for my parents to move in, and I painted with him every day, and that gave me a sense that I was helping my family.
Why'd you pick nursing?
I think it's important to help people, and I just enjoyed it. I had a knack for it. I wanted to ease the load of my parents, and one time when I was very young, 11 I think, I nursed my brother back to health when he fell off the roof of the house. I stayed by his bedside and nursed him back to health. It made me feel good about myself.
Were you always a nurse?
Oh, no, no, no. I was a teacher as well. In 1838, I opened a school in New Jersey. I've taught in Canada and even West Georgia. Mm-hmm.
Was convincing to get in.
What convinced me?
What convinced you to get in with the war
movement?
The
war movement. Well, before my father passed away, I was able to talk to him about the importance of the war movement. And my father convinced me that it was my duty to help the soldiers, the wounded soldiers on the front lines. And following my father's passing away, I was able to get back to Washington and get much-needed medical supplies, and the quartermaster of the army gave me the permission to work on the front lines right then and there and help the wounded soldiers.
In 1864, you were given the job of lady in charge of the front line hospitals.
Mm-hmm.
Is that what inspired you to create the American Red Cross?
Oh, that was part of it. It was very, very rewarding work helping soldiers that were wounded. But after the war, I ran the Office of Missing Soldiers in Washington, D.C., and I became friends with Frederick Douglass and Susan B. Anthony, and I was involved in the civil rights movement as well as the suffrage movement. But one thing I did following the Civil War is I took a trip to Europe, specifically Switzerland, and I found an amazing global network, an organization there called the Red Cross. But I was so impressed in this amazing network that helped people that I brought it back to the United States, and on May 21st, 1881, I founded the American Red Cross with some help from my friends.
Well, that wraps it up. I'd like to thank my guest, Miss Clara Barton, and we will see you next time on Civil War Television, where we will interview President Abraham Lincoln.
Oh, wonderful. I can't wait for that. Thank you, William.
You're welcome.